Hey guys, it's the Doc, and here's our next installment of the hashtag #Mudgil series of posts. This question comes in from Reddit, and it's a real good one. The question is, can a person who never got sunburn, didn't use a tanning bed, doesn't have family history of melanoma, still have the chance to get diagnosed with melanoma? I mean, like any other cancers which affect anyone in general, could it be the same with melanoma? Is it rare or like impossible? Well, that's a good question. So it sounds like you're doing the right things. You're avoiding, you're wearing sunscreen, you're not getting sunburned, you're avoiding tanning beds, which are the absolute worst thing you could do. Shame, shame, shame on Kim Kardashian for using a tanning bed to treat her psoriasis. And it's kind of a tough question to answer. So excess sun exposure, using tanning beds, getting lots of sunburns, not using sunscreen, those really increase your risk tremendously for basal cell carcinoma and squamous cell carcinoma, which are the most common types of skin cancer. Basal cell carcinoma is by far the most common, squamous cell is below that, and then at least one of the, much less common, I should say, is melanoma. And the sun does play a role, it is believed, in the incidence of melanoma. So folks who had tons of sun exposure or used tanning beds, it does increase their risk for melanoma. But melanoma is a little bit trickier in that there's a genetic component to it as well. So for instance, darker skinned folks are at risk for melanoma. It can just happen. It's sort of like a genetic event. Bob Marley died of a melanoma on his toe, and it was never treated, and he died of metastatic melanoma. Folks who are darker skinned like myself, or folks who are Asian, can get melanomas on their palms and soles or in their mouth, areas that never are exposed to the sun. Some folks can get melanoma in their eye, which is, there's no real sun exposure there as well. So the answer to your question is you're doing all the right things. So you're protecting yourself from the sun, you're avoiding obvious toxic things like sun tanning boots and that sort of stuff. And although your risk for melanoma because you are doing those things is reduced because of the right things that you're doing, unfortunately, melanoma is one of these weird things where there's, albeit a very small risk, there is still a risk. So with that being said, if you notice a mole that just looks funny looking on your skin, you should definitely get in to see a board certified dermatologist for them to check it out. If you're a fair skinned person that has a bunch of moles or has had the sunburn or has exposed themselves to tanning boots, etc., you should certainly get into your dermatologist for a yearly skin cancer screening, with the caveat being, if you notice something funny looking on your skin, don't wait a year to show your dermatologist. Skin cancer is one of those things where in most cases, if it's caught really early, it's 100% curable. The problem most folks run into, if they let something fester, then it kind of does, spreads a bit. That makes it a lot more challenging to treat. So great question. I hope I answered it. Let's get it.